Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Claroos.
And this is the nightly
morning show?
I was hoping you would do the morning, the show.
Oh.
Because we do the nerdy, the wordy, the book club.
It's the nightly, the morning, the show.
It's the nightly, the morning, the show.
I like it.
Let's get into it. That is right. Welcome back. We haven't done one of these in forever, but I think the show's coming back. I think the show is making its return.
Yeah, I wonder why that might be.
Because we have nothing else to make content about.
Well, that's not technically true.
What do you mean?
We are doing book club. For those of you who are
That's
like,
true.
oh no, book club. Don't worry. Book club still going. In fact, we're going to be moving a little faster on book club, which means maybe then we start a new series sooner. I'm very excited about. I think we're still going to do... Can we... Okay, question.
Answer.
If Disney is developing an Aragon show, can we still cover the books and Mertag?
Yes. Yeah, the books. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just checking.
We will do book club on Mertag in November.
Yeah, we had talked about doing a kind of mini-series book club for the previous 4 books, because it's been forever since you've read them, and it's my favorite series. So.
Yeah, that might happen in October.
Yeah.
We'll probably be done A Memory of Light by October now.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So everything is changing. Y'all, if you're coming into the show fresh, not knowing what the heck's going on, if you missed the video last night, I'm on strike. My name is Nerdy, but my acting name, which isn't even my real name.
It's not even your real name.
Which is hilarious. But my acting name, David Webb, is on the roster of the SAG-AFTRA. I don't have my card on me, but I'm a card-carrying member of the SAG-AFTRAs.
I think it's downstairs.
And I am on strike. Actually, I could... Wait.
What?
I can pull out old cards.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring out your headshot or some shit.
No. This, for those of you who remember, this is a loot crate. And I wrote in college the memories on it.
The memories. Thanks for the memories.
But this is literally where I keep old stuff.
Look at that. Does that have a number on it?
Yeah, I'm going to cover my number. This is my SAG-AFTRA membership card from 2015, 2016, the other 2016. We get 2 every year. 2017. 2015 was not the first year, but it seems to be the first one I have in here.
Are these ones just...
This is my...
Oh, this actor's...
Wait. Do you guys remember Movie Pass? Do you guys remember Movie Pass? I got me a Movie Pass back in the day.
Can't say I do.
Ooh, my Starbucks Gold Rewards card that only works in the States, a country I don't live in. This one's fun. When my grandfather passed away... Oh, this has my full name on it.
People know your name.
Actually, that's true. So when my grandfather passed away, what I got was this card, which is a, platinum level... Playboy Club membership card, because my grandfather was a delinquent. I don't think that this works anymore.
Yeah, I would imagine there's an expiration for that, right?
This card is so old that the local city clubs on the back don't yet have area codes on them. The number for Baltimore's Playboy Club is VE71111. There's no fucking way. That's not real. But yeah, my grandfather. My legal name is David John Weens III. My grandfather was David John Weens the First.
Yes.
And
so it has your name on it.
So it has my name on it, and so he was a member of the Playboy Club. He had a key card to get in, and I wonder, Playboy, can I come hang out?
Yeah, could we hang out? We're really cool, I promise. You would love our smut corner on book club.
Oh my god, my student ID card's in here.
Oh my god, is there a picture on that? Oh my god, wait. Can I don't know. Oh my god.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, what a cutie.
What else is in here?
You just gonna go through all of it?
Why not? This is fun content, right?
Sure.
Ooh, my Access card for when I was doing Sweeney Todd with Emma Thompson.
Very cool.
My Access card for Elf the Musical. My backstage pass for Elf the... Oh my god, you guys, my whole life is in here.
I just do want to say
this was a lot of this is blocked. This is my visa for when I worked in Japan because they took my passport. And so while I was working there, this was my ID card.
Right.
I don't know what it says. It's in Japanese.
I just want to say, Pike, welcome to the Nerd Table. I saw that you joined
Pike, thank you.
back at the beginning of the not book club, of the morning show. I just want to say thank you for that.
Ooh, this one's fun. This is when I was on the SAG-AFTRA nominating committee. This was my nominating committee card that allowed me to go to the very special nominating committee streamers. I'm a SAG boy, okay?
Yeah, I think they get it.
Ooh, my Wolf of Wall Street. So this was my Wolf of Wall Street extra pass.
You had a pass for that?
Yeah, well, to get on set, you had to have this. And then this was Josh Muzafer. This was my character on the Wolf of Wall Street at LF Rothschild & Co. So yeah, I have a bunch of old shit in here from my extra days.
Oh wow.
But there's one really fun one I want to show you guys. Sorry, I did not mean to hijack the whole show into this. But once I opened this box, I got excited. Where is my...
That would be Elf the musical.
You talk to chat. I'm going to find something really quickly.
Sure. Blue says there were more memberships before that. Unfortunately, I don't have them in the chat here. So if you did join the Nerd Table, I want to say a huge thank you. I'm sorry that it's not popping up.
Wait, I want to read this one really quick. This is a receipt that from when I was a waiter. There's this little girl, this family, they would come in a lot, and this girl and I would have banter because she was 8 and wanted to be on Broadway when she was older. And so I would tell her about how to work in musical theater. And this was the last time I served them because I was quitting my job and I didn't know if I was going to see them again. So she drew me this very sad boy right here. Wow. It's oh. And then at the bottom of the receipt, she wrote, "Roses are red, violets are blue. Get on the stage. They're ready for you."
That's actually really sweet.
I cried at work. No joke. And I've kept it.
That's actually super sweet.
Yeah, when was this? This was oh yeah. Yeah. That was her very sweet goodbye to me.
Very cute, very cute.
All right, has anyone asked us any questions? This isn't Ask Us Anything, so ask us anything.
Oh yeah, we're doing an Ask Me Anything because obviously we can't talk about a lot of nerd news. We're still gonna be covering.
We can't talk about any of it.
We're gonna be able to cover video games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's no problem. Comic book stuff, although you don't really read comics anymore, and I have never really.
Maybe I'll start again.
Maybe I'll start again. But yeah, we're here to support the strike. We're here for it. We're gonna do our part, whatever we can. Thank you for being patient with us while we navigate that with the channel because, obviously things are gonna be a little bit different.
What are you talking about? Everything's gonna be exactly the same.
Pete Stone, yes, Nerdy was in those movies. That's
what
correct.
movies?
The cards you were showing.
Yeah, I was in those movies.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, it's in a very neat, tidy, nice box.
I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to my own history.
Z asks, just curious, but why did you interpret SAG's prohibition in promotional to prohibit reactors or spoiler reviews which are inherently targeted to those who have already seen the product?
Again, I am not saying that I am not saying that all reaction channels should be prohibited. I am a member of SAG-AFTRA.
Yes.
And so I am in a different category than those other reactors, right?
Yes.
If Real Rejects wants to react to stuff, their only job is reacting to stuff. And I think that is totally acceptable. I stand with them if that's what they want to do. Mm-hmm. I am not here to be no, don't do that.
Yeah, we're not trying to police other people.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that because of my position as a member of the union, that I'm in a different boat than those people, right? And so I don't think it's in here. I actually think it's on the board.
Aw.
I have my car,
I'm just gonna leave those out?
Yeah. I have my access card from the set of Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, fun.
But I think it's on our corkboard actually.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that was what I wanted to show, but it's fine.
So Jim wants to know if we're excited for Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes. You know what's not struck right now? Baldur's Gate 3.
And the best part is now Nerdy and I are going to be able to go into really in depth about all the different romance and sex scenes.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
All I'm going to be doing in August is playing Baldur's Gate 3 on stream. That's my plan for the whole month, is working out and playing Baldur's Gate 3. Because I can't react to shit, so that's it.
And it'll be nice to have something kind of chill after the relay that's we don't have to think too much about. We're putting in a lot of work. We're responsible for other human beings, which I am not usually. We gotta work out food and accommodation and all of those things. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
This show's off to a chaotic start. Good morning, everybody. This is the Nightly Morning Show.
this show is always going to be chaotic.
Well, and it's a show we like. The problem with the Nightly Morning Show has always been that we never really figured out what it was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. First, we're strictly like nerd news.
But then you didn't like being you don't care. Like, just frankly, the Nightly Morning Show never worked because you never gave a shit.
I always found it interesting. Like, you'd be like, this is happening. And I'd be like, oh, cool. And then I would forget it.
Yeah. Yeah, and so they're just like, I think that the channels that do a really good job with that style of show are the ones where both hosts are interested in the news of the nerddom the way that I am.
For sure.
And I want to turn...
And I'm sorry I'm not that partner for you.
This is not... Again, I want to be really clear. This is not me, like, shitting on you
No,
or, like, saying
I
that
know.
you fucked up.
No.
I'm saying that I tried to push us to make a show that you weren't that interested in making. And so it didn't work. Mm-hmm. And so I want to keep doing the Nightly Morning Show. I want to bring it back and make it weekly. But I want to do it in a way that makes it content that you are as interested in making as me, so that we're making a fun show together, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was the failure of the Nightly Morning Show the first time, was that we were in COVID, just trying to make it work, and we didn't know what to do. We had just moved to Toronto. We were locked down. We had all this time and literally no money and nothing to do.
Yeah.
And so I was like, these are the shows that I enjoy watching. Make one with me. And I wish that I could go back and be like, don't. Figure out what your wife wants to make with you and do that instead.
The problem is I didn't know. My only content creation experience was streaming, right? And so we had to do what we did to figure shit out and get to the point we're at now. So I'm not mad about it. I still had fun doing it.
Yeah.
Brian, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate it. Where are you You're watching Critical Role live play campaigns. Is that a potential for reaction videos?
No. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I really appreciate everyone asking. I'm gonna answer this just because you don't watch Critical Role.
I haven't been watching really. I listen to Dungeons and Daddies, but I have not had the time to pick up Critical Role.
I love Critical Role so much, but it is my thing for me. It is the one piece of content that I can watch whenever I want, and that I don't have to schedule into my life. If I had to react to it, I could only do one episode a week. I would have to watch it at normal speed. Like there are too many
you watch
barriers.
it at times 2 speed, and I feel like I would
1.5.
Or sorry, yeah. Yeah, they move fast.
I wouldn't be able to enjoy it the way that I am, and I think that it would be the episodes are too long for me to continue to pay attention for that long. I honestly even movie reactions to me. The longer ones verge on being too much.
That's fair.
And so I don't think I would ever react to Critical Role. I love it. That's not me saying that I don't love it. I have watched 200 episodes of Critical Role in the first half of this year. I'm on episode 42 of campaign 2 right now. So I clearly love the thing. I think they make incredible art. And I think that what they're doing in the improv TTRPG space is bar none. I adore them. I love the Mighty Nine. I'm having so much fun in the Pirate Arc right now. It's a good time. I just don't think that I could react to it and still enjoy it the way that I am.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to analyze it. I don't, reactions to me are about getting deeper into analyzing something, and it's why a lot of our reactions don't work for people, because I'm not a reactor who sits there and is like, boom, bang, I love this, let's go, blah, 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 blah. I'm sitting there being like, let's dive into the story. Let's talk about why this works and why this doesn't. And
an analysis for improv is very different. It just feels like it doesn't really help anyone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't think there's any benefit to me 6 years later being like, why did they make this choice in the moment? Because they forgot something that happened 6 weeks earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very different.
Totally different medium. But we're hoping, instead of reacting to TTRPG content, to be making our own.
Yeah.
Come check out the Roleplay Relay, which is in less than 2 weeks. Holy shit.
Yeah, 10 days.
A couple things up here. David Peltier asks, any picketing opportunities ahead for you?
We live in Canada, so
unfortunately
no.
not.
Unfortunately, I can't pick it. I wanted to while we were in LA, but it
was just too crazy.
Yeah.
Also, hi, Darth Chaco in the chat.
Hey, guys, go follow Darth Chaco. They make great Star Wars content.
Yay.
They say, what about covering a game like Star Wars Outlaws? Is that it's Ubisoft and a game, but the IP is owned by a struck company. Okay, so here's the thing. The company that makes... I am not picketing Disney, I'm picketing their movie and television studios.
Contracts.
But struck companies, right?
Yeah.
But the companies under Disney that I am not consuming the content of, it's not the entire umbrella of Disney, right? We have to draw lines somewhere. I will not be covering anything coming out of their television or movie studios, but I am fully comfortable supporting books, comics, animated stuff.
Those are not
things that are
contracts.
Things that are made by the parts of that company that would never touch what is struck.
Yeah.
I am going to continue to make book content. I am hoping to find a co-host to do a High Republic podcast with me. I've not read anything from the High Republic. And so in the near future, I am kind of thinking I want to launch a High Republic book club with somebody. I know you're not particularly interested in going on that journey with me.
It's a lot. I would be interested in reading it, but like I feel like I barely have enough time for like Wheel of Time reading. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm considering adding a High Republic book club to my life. But because it isn't made by the same... Like, I am picketing Marvel Studios, right? I'm picketing Pixar Studio. Man, not really Pixar as much, because I believe that's an AVGA contract, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
But I'm not picketing their book division. I'm not picketing those things because they're unrelated.
Yeah.
And I'm perfectly comfortable talking about a Star Wars book right now.
Yeah.
But I will not be discussing Ahsoka when it comes out.
Yeah, it's a great question.
Yeah.
Obviously, these things are very confusing, and we're going to try and just make it as clear for you as possible.
Yeah.
Grav Shark was a little bit confused with our video, with shows like The Expanse had already done. At first, we thought that older properties by those same companies were fine. The union has asked us to not. If they were to drop today, please treat them as such. And so we're not able to do The Expanse until after the strike.
Yeah, no Expanse, no Black Sails, no Buffy. Those have been the like 3 big ones that people have been asking us about.
Yeah.
Divinity on Board, I want to bring up Super Chat.
Super Chat, we really appreciate that.
Divinity on Board says, continue book club with Sanderson, Mistborn, and the Stormlight Archive.
We're thinking about it.
I mean, probably.
We're thinking about it.
We keep saying everything about probably.
Yeah.
I hope that the Sanderson fans are going to be comfortable with me discussing the Mormon Church in those reviews and making my opinion of that clear. But yeah.
Someone asked a question about the scanning. I don't know why the moderation's not working. If you can scroll up for me a little bit.
About scanning?
Yeah, a little bit more. Can you explain the scanning my image and using my likeness thing from the studios? How did that work in the past, compensation-wise, and how are they proposing to do it now?
Oh, CJB. It didn't work in the past.
It didn't.
This didn't exist.
It was never in contracts.
Yeah.
There have been stories coming out of people being like, yeah, when I was on set, they scanned my likeness and image and didn't tell me why. And just kind of did it behind my back.
Yeah.
And now knowing that, now in hindsight, we're able to see potentially what that was used for. And they want to work it into their contracts where they're allowed to do that. No problem.
So the idea of scanning background has existed, right? But in the past, scanning background has simply been basically taking an image and then stamping it. One of my favorite examples of this is if you go and watch
The Expanse. We saw that crowd.
the stamping in The Expanse is bad.
That was very funny.
But that was at least a huge crowd.
Yes.
My favorite example, if you want to go see background stamping, is in Revenge of the Sith. In the Battle of Kashyyyk, there's a shot of the Wookiees on the beach, and there's only like 6 Wookiees, and they're all doing the same motion. And if you just loop that like 3 seconds of Wookiees, it is so they didn't even try to hide where the stamp edges are.
Yeah.
It is just there's one Wookiee doing this, there's one Wookiee doing this, they're the same color. Like they didn't even like color code the different Wookiees' motions.
Absolutely not.
It's hilarious. But for the longest time, we've only been able to take images and video of background and stamp them, clone stamp them, which is
it's something that they're already doing, right?
But
they're not creating.
But is already questionable, right?
Sure.
Like,
yes.
You know, in the background space, it is common, But people don't love it. People don't love when you show up to be 100 people and you have to walk around a stadium all fucking day to get 97 shots of you so that they can take that 100 people and make it look like they paid 10,000 people to be there when they didn't.
Yeah.
Or like what the fucking Dark Knight Rises did for the stadium stuff where Bane blows up the stadium, where they got volunteers to come and do the like big scene and they did not pay those people. I know because one of my friends was there. And when I worked on the Dark Knight Rises, I was SAG. I got paid.
But they like.
But they
like,
put out a casting call.
Movie.
Oh yeah. They were like, "Do you want to be in the next Batman movie?" And they did not pay those people, and I was pissed about it.
Yeah.
Did not like that. But it is what it is. The industry's always tried to screw over background because they're
the bottom rung. They're the easiest to screw over.
Well, it's more complicated than just that. Background is also really complicated, really expensive.
It's where they can save the most money a lot of times, apart from like big stars, right? Those are obviously like a huge part of the budget, but a huge part of the budget is background because it's just a lot of people if you have lots of large scenes.
Well, and it's not even just the people, right? You have to think about the infrastructure of of how you get those people there.
Getting them there, costuming, prop, like all of that.
Well, no, with background, it's usually your own costuming.
I've had both. I've had both background where I bring stuff, and I've had background where they give me stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for like period stuff, like you're going to have more of that. The big expense is food. Feeding background people day in and day out is very expensive, which is why one of my favorite stories, I was working on a movie called God's Behaving Badly. And if you're like, never heard of it, that's probably because it filmed once in Rome and then they burned every single copy of it. It does not exist, despite the fact that it stars Christopher Walken, Alicia Silverstone, Oliver Platt, Edie Falco, John Turturro. The cast was fucking stacked, right? We filmed 10 overnights in the Staten Island Botanical Gardens. And we were there from like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., 10 days in a row. And there were like, I think the SAG minimum at the time was 44 people. So basically they had to hire 44 SAG members. And then whatever after that, they could hire non-union people to be the rest. They only had to have 44 SAG on set. And so we got the SAG people, we ate good. We were taken care of. It was fantastic. The non-union people got these boxed lunches that were sandwiches. And they had sat out all day and into the night. And we ate at like 2:33 in the morning because we're filming overnights.
Yep.
And after I think it was the third day, we showed up for the fourth day and like 100 members of the non-union cast, because there was like 400 non-union, about 100 people did not show up for the fourth day of filming. And people were like trying to figure out why. They were like, like usually background is transient. There will be people who don't come back for the next day, especially with overnights. There'll be people who say they're available all 10 days, and then as soon as you're filming, oh, I wasn't available. I forgot to tell you about this conflict, whatever. No, 100 people got food poisoning on set from this shitty fucking food that had sat out all day.
That's why unions are important.
Yeah, it was unhinged. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And now looking back, the movie didn't even get released.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Brutal. James Ross, thank you. Thank you for that super chat. No expanse. I guess I'll have more time to print that last ship. Yes. Mm-hmm. We are still going to be watching and recording our reactions, though. Mm-hmm. So maybe less than you would think.
Yeah. We are not going to stop recording because...
spoilers, and we don't want to, like, forget. There's a bunch of reasons.
Well, and the biggest one for me is that we've made a commitment to our editor, and we are going to continue to provide him with work through this.
Yeah. It would suck if we were just like, hey, we're not going to pay you anymore because we have nothing for you to do.
Yeah, I didn't... When I kind of went to Clarus and was like, the decision is that I want to push to... do this to support the union and be 100% on board with whatever the union says. Mm-hmm. My one thing was that we will find a way to continue to pay our editor because that person is relying on us. And if we have to figure out a way to do that becomes more complicated, we will, because I'm committed to making sure that our editor stays employed.
Yeah, for sure.
And so the Patreon will continue on because the people there have paid for something, and I'm not going to cut them off. I also don't feel like our Patreon is promotion. We will not be talking about our Patreon publicly anymore. But things will go up there that do not go up publicly. and we will not be discussing that publicly in any way, shape, or form.
Yes.
However, we'll be satisfying our commitment to our patrons because they've paid for something, and I don't think it is fair for them to not get it.
Yeah, for sure.
And hopefully the Patreon will cover our editor for the time being. And then when the SAG strike ends, we're going to have
so much content.
ton of content.
We might even get like our actual vacation because we'll be so ahead on stuff that we'll just schedule things and we will sign off the internet for a week. That sounds nice. Darth Choco said that they might be interested in book club. So
all right, Darth Choco, let's chat.
maybe yeah.
Gus Bonet.
Thank you for that super
Thank you for
chat.
that super chat. So do you guys intend to do reactions to more adult anime like Vinland Saga? I really want to do Vinland Saga. I think it looks great. My question is it produced by Netflix? Because that's my one thing, is that we're going to do animes that are produced by Japanese companies. If an anime is on a streaming service in America and like they have a licensing rights in America, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Because it is who made it to me. And so I'll be covering animes that are made specifically by Japanese studios. If they are then brought to America by American companies, I can't control that. And that has nothing to do with SAG-AFTRA. But I'm not going to do anything that is produced by Netflix. And so I don't know about Vinland Saga.
Yeah, we will have to look into that.
But I think Vinland Saga looks rad. The things that we are going to be reacting to publicly for the foreseeable future are Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, One Piece, and those are the two. And movies.
Yeah. For the moment.
Yeah.
Rantal
Moore says the first season was produced by Wit Studio in 2019 and the second one by Mappa in 2023. No, not Attack on Titan. I want to know about Vinland Saga.
So close. Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure we didn't miss questions. Hey guys, if we do miss your question, please feel free to retype it, so just so we don't have to be scrolling up and down. Today's gonna be more chill. Like I said, it's an Ask Me Anything, so if we miss your question, feel free to drop it again, but don't spam it, if that makes sense.
Corinne says, listen to a podcast offline that said this isn't accurate. The scan would only be for the project you were hired for. Any future use of your likeness would have to be agreed upon. I want to address that because sure, they might not own it in perpetuity. They can only own it for a project. That's still fucking archaic, and that's not better.
Yeah.
Like, it is kind of better.
And it is just a slippery slope.
But
if they can take that step, they will ask for more. It doesn't stop there, right?
Yes. The point that I want to be very clear about is that I do not want to work on a television show for one day and then have my background image used for perpetuity of that show.
Could be 26 seasons long.
I've worked on Law and Order multiple times. I've made a lot of money off of Law and Order, and you know what? I'm proud of the work that I did on that show. It was really fun to be a part of it in the very, very tiny way that I was. Right? SVU. I was not on the original Law and Order, or the reboot. I kind of was in between. But I was able to survive in New York off background work because of shows like Law and Order, bringing me back time and time again to do different things.
Yeah.
I would not have survived college because background work is how I made money. It was the only thing that I could fit into my schedule.
Yes.
I would not have survived if Law and Order had only booked me for one day and then AI'd me into the rest of their show.
Yes.
And so it doesn't matter if it's just for that one project. Projects nowadays, they could go on for 20 years, right? Law and Order SVU's on season 20. Grey's Anatomy is on season 20.
Yeah.
The idea that the next Grey's Anatomy could scan somebody tomorrow and still be using their image only for Grey's Anatomy in 2027, 2028, 2029, 2045 is still bad for the union and for actors.
Yeah.
It is giving them free labor off of my image that I do not get paid for.
Yeah.
And it is ruining my ability to network. It is ruining the ability to get on set and learn how sets work. I didn't learn everything about sets that I needed to learn in one day of background. I learned it over years of work across different projects with different second ADs and different crews. And like the ability to learn about the industry through background work is so important, and you can't do that in one day.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Joe G says, what gives you the best cut for one-offs? Patreon? Yeah.
Yes.
Patreon only takes 8%.
Yes.
Well, no, and then we lose 5%
There's a fee.
PayPal, so it's 13% total.
Yes. But thank you for that super chat, and thank you for asking.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, so we get we keep about 87% of Patreon.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Rantel Moore, thank you for that super chat. The first season of Vinland Saga was produced by Wit Studio in 2019, the second one by Map in 2023.
You trolls.
If you say so. We'll look into it. But a lot of people are asking us to do that show, so I feel like, who knows? Who knows, guys? We are still also figuring this out as we move along. Skipcat asks, are we still coming to Dragon Con since we're coming as fans and not promoting anything?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. I will not be cosplaying anything from the studios that's coming out. I'll be working on a new Keyleth, because animation is different, different contracts. But other than Keyleth, I'm not actually sure what I will be bringing. I have a lot of stuff that potentially is fine. But I'm going to just try and be like super wary about what I'm cosplaying in terms of like promotion. So yeah, I don't know, maybe Captain Canada, but it might be really hot in Atlanta for that.
Yeah.
Might be a little warm, a little toasty.
PD Squish says, so far I've seen that there isn't a call for a consumer boycott yet. Can you confirm this at all? Also, I thought you looked familiar. Probably saw you on SVU when I was younger. You did not see me on. I promise you, you did not see me on SVU.
It might be something
I don't
else,
even know what episodes I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like blurry in the background of shots. You know what I mean? I'm there to like add tone, to add flavor. And I did my job. But the person above that says, the studios will find out that well done background work is important and people notice it. Yes. It's why I worked so much, is because I was good at it.
Yep.
It's not, it is, you would think that it's not a hard job to be good at, right? You would be like, background work is easy, but it actually isn't, for a number of reasons. One, being background involves working with a lot of background people. Like, the kind of people who work background typically either can't get another job, and so they're looking for something that's a little bit transient, are doing it on the side because they want to see what it's like to work in the movies. And so those two kinds of people are difficult because they are they're not there to like work on the job. They're there to like,
it's kind of like a spectacle.
Yeah, they're there to like watch. Or they're crazy. There's a lot of crazy people who work in background.
Some strange people.
And so like, in order to be good at it, the things that you need to be good at background work are to not be crazy. And I mean like legit. I'm not like saying that to be like, you know, like people who are kind of annoying. I mean like legit insane. Like people who would like sneak signs onto the set and then like try and show the camera their like headshot while Jennifer Aniston is doing a take. And you're like, they're not going to use the take. Like,
yeah,
this isn't live. You know, we're filming a fucking like commercial.
Yeah.
Like legitimately crazy shit. Yeah. You just have to be like a normal person who can withstand the rigor of being treated like you are not a human being
for
20
hours a day. Yeah. Yes.
It breaks a lot of people. I know a lot of people who do like 2 days of back work and are like, I could never do this.
Yeah.
I don't care how much money I'm making. I could never do this. Meanwhile, I was like, I literally have no choice.
Yeah. I enjoy background, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Joe says, I noticed Clarkson voice. Hi, Joe. Yes.
Yeah, you can see Clarkson the boys.
That day was between like 33 and 36 degrees Celsius outside. It was rough. That was a rough one, but it was a lot. It was a good time. Kavoth Pendrag, welcome to the Nerd Table.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. It's good to have you.
Clark's a cosplay as an ethical WGA SAG-AFTRA contract.
I would love to make that. Also, the answer, Rantamore, is yes.
PD Squish says, is it important for us as consumers to watch stuff still so you guys get... Yeah, watch everything.
Yeah.
Consume everything. Go to the movies. Go to the actual theater and go see movies.
Yeah.
I promise you, no one is going to be mad at you for watching stuff.
Well, and...
Just be careful about the way that you promote it online.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. If the studios see that the things are making money, that actually, like, gives better bargaining power for the unions. Right? Mm-hmm. Look at how much you made from this. Like, we deserve a piece of the pie, right? So yes, please keep going to see movies. Please keep like consuming the content, because it actually helps with the union. Yeah, seriously. No one's going to be mad at you if you go see stuff. If a consumer boycott is asked for by the union, we'll let you know. Everyone will let you know. But right now, that's not where we're at. Right now, we're just we want professionals. Yeah.
If you're a fan, cosplay stuff, right? If you're a person who is not a professional, go cosplay whatever you want.
Yeah.
the difference that for Clarus and I is that we are professionals and this is our job. And so the expectation on us is different than other people. And the expectation on me is greater than on other channels. I was seeing Greg Alba from The Real Rejects talking about how they're going to keep going. And Adam Hlavik from Heroes Reforged, both great channels who I have an immense amount of respect for and who I like a lot. Those are people who I've never met Adam or Greg, but I do know we've met Hector from Heroes Reforged before, and we've met Koi, who works with The Real Rejects, and I consider both of them to be acquaintances in the content world who I have an immense amount of love and respect for.
Yeah, they were delightful.
They are not SAG members, and so the expectations of what they are going to boycott are not the same as my expectations, right?
Yes.
Their job is not the same as mine, and so I support them doing their job, making their bills, and paying their employees. I do not want people who are not members to feel like they need to give up their livelihood and like ruin their companies for my fight. Right now, this is my fight. If a consumer boycott is called, that might change. We're not there yet. And so I support them continuing what they do 100%. I just can't do it because I carry the card. Because I pay into the union and I believe in the union and the union has benefited me. The union has taken care of me. The union has bought me shoes for auditions. The union, like, I have literally...
Has paid for your doctor's bills.
Yeah. Well, no, I never had SAG insurance. I've always had...
You never did? Oh, it was
No, I've always had equity insurance.
Sure. That's fair. That's fair.
But I support them doing what they do because they're in a different boat than I am because I'm a union member and they're not. And I'm an actor and a lot of them aren't, right? And so their relationship to the content creation that they make is going to be different than the equation that I have to do. Because I will do whatever the union asks of me.
Yeah.
Full stop. I fully believe that we're at a point right now where the industry that I love and the entertainment and the things that are the most important in the world to me are under attack by greedy motherfuckers who think that they're going to solve their financial issues with AI, and they're not. They're going to solve it by leaning into the creativity of their people and stop studio noting every single project to a unwatchable mess.
Yeah.
If you think that like the TV shows and movies that you're watching are bad, I promise you it isn't the writers, because the writers are watching their stuff make it to final print and they are pissed about what changed.
I would bet good money that Morbius was like a decent movie.
Before it was edited to the Venom timeline.
Yeah. And I fucking hated that movie. You know what I mean? Joe White, thank you so much for that super chat. Yeah, we got that.
Let's start with Kvoth Pendrag.
Yeah,
Oh, you said that one already? Okay, just want to make sure. Joe White, I just want to miss anything because people are being very kind this morning.
I know.
Joe White, Nerdy mentioned a future interest in being part of the WGA. Do you have any plans for scripted presentation on one of your platforms? Yes. I want to produce a short film within a year from now.
Thank you for that super duper chat. Yes.
The goal right now is the relay.
Once we're doing the relay, and then we're taking a little bit of a break.
Yes,
like we're gonna chill a little bit in August because it's been a crazy couple of weeks, and we still have a few crazy weeks ahead of us. But we got some stuff that we would hopefully like to share with y'all. Yeah.
Arazu, thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you.
Just because I love you guys. Appreciate that.
We appreciate the heck out of you. I think somebody asked if I had played Mass Effect. So I think I saw that up above. I played the first Mass Effect. I streamed that on Twitch. I thought it was fun. Mm-hmm. I didn't end up picking up the second one.
I've played all of them. I love them all.
Mm-hmm.
Mass Effect 2 is one of the best video games ever made.
I should probably at least play the second one.
It is the best one.
Yeah. I didn't like super duper love the first one. All the side quests were the exact same thing, but like reskinned.
Yeah, the problem is that is most video games. The first one is always a little rough because they're developing a new system.
Totally.
And then it's the same. Assassin's Creed 2 is so much better than Assassin's Creed 1.
God,
right? Mass Effect 2, so much better than Mass Effect 1. Halo 2, so much better than Halo 1. A lot of the and then after that they get too complicated because they're just adding systems to add systems. Mm-hmm. The second game in video game franchises tends to be the best one because it is always the best version of what the first game could have been.
Yeah. Monkey says a vacation in this economy. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see.
PD Squish says, I prefer to be inconvenienced by lack of TV shows and movies if it means folks don't have health insurance lapse between gigs. 100%. I'm just saying that that's not what people are asking for. So I don't want people to feel the need to create solidarity through what they think they should be doing. The union is making it very clear what is the most beneficial thing.
Yeah.
And right now, the most beneficial thing is enjoy what you love. Go watch it, consume it, have a blast with it. Just don't promote it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that if we get to a consumer boycott, we'll get to it. I don't think so. I'm going to be really honest. I'm going to dive in here real quick for a second, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
The studios are fucked. Like they are. They're really fucked. They are already in a bad place. And so the idea that they are in this like strong arm position where they can wait till we run out of money and then we're going to come crawling to them for a great deal is just... It's propaganda that they're pushing out to the public, and they hope that people outside of the industry will believe it. But everyone in the industry knows the studios are fucked. They are overspending on all of their projects, and those projects are failing. Now, granted, a lot of that overspend is going to be a 20% bump on those budgets because of what it costs to produce in COVID, right? A lot of stuff that was produced during COVID has very expensive COVID fees attached to it. And that is the reality of a lot of those budgets. But the streaming services that all of these companies have bought into cost so much money to maintain. They are not free. It is not just free money that comes in every month. It is, even when they are not actively producing projects, it is so much money just to keep the thing up and running with residuals and all the shit that they complain about. On top of that, their board of directors of these companies and the shareholders do not give a fuck about the negotiations. They want profits. And so if we get to January, February, and there is nothing in production and there is no profits coming in until Q3 or 4 of 2024, these companies are going to go crazy. Not the executives who think that they're going to screw over the writers, but the actual shareholders and the board of directors are going to eat them alive. You cannot simply stop production. Their bills are bigger than ours, and their bills are coming due faster than ours. Writers and actors know how to survive. We lose jobs every 13 to 16 weeks. We know what to do when the job ends because we do it all the fucking time. But the executives in Hollywood don't. They have seen their profits go up and up and up ever since forever at this point. It has been a booming industry, and the shareholders and board of directors of those companies expect that to continue. They have built a level of expectation that they cannot cash in while they are sitting back hoping that we're running out of money. We already don't have any fucking money. We didn't have money when we were working for you. Yep. Not having money, not working for you isn't any fucking different. So the idea that we are going to cave and take less money from a bad deal when we are already broke is insane. It is so fucking stupid. You have everything to lose, and we currently have nothing. We are already bargaining from the bottom of the bin. There's nowhere for us to go down. We are not going to dig to the center of the fucking earth and beg for a rope to get back out. We are sitting on the ground looking up at you, and you've got a fucking platform that can collapse under you. There is a place for you to go, and there isn't for us. And yes, Tom Cruise, yeah, his contract doesn't matter. Stop talking about the millionaire actors. They negotiate individual contracts for projects.
They're not working on the same contract that like we would be if we signed. You know what I mean? Like,
this is not about them. This is about the floor that we are sitting on. There's nothing underneath it. We're trying to raise it. We would love to raise it so that there is something underneath us. That would be fucking awesome. But right now there isn't. We're already sitting on the floor. And so if you want to come join us on the floor and be broke like the rest of us, great. Keep this going. But for the executives to pretend that there is any world in which we have more to lose than they do is asinine. And I hope they realize that quickly for everybody's benefit. But they're fucked. And AI isn't going to save them because AI isn't real. They're buying into something that doesn't fucking exist.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the misconception around this is what we're calling AI, which we talked about a little bit. That artificial intelligence isn't actually intelligence. I mean, you described fucking whatever it is. That's the snake eating its own tail.
Yeah.
What is it called? The photo AI.
Oh, it's machine learning. It's not AI.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a specific one that you used that it has scalped. That's the wrong word. Scanned all the art that it can, all the images that it can, and it is now scanning its own stuff and becoming worse for it. That's not
100%.
artificial intelligence.
Yeah, and the problem is that once the machine learning runs out of things to learn off of, it learns from itself, and then it just devolves and it collapses.
Yeah,
it's called
It's going to be a nightmare.
There's a term for it. It's called something collapse. But it's a real thing.
Christina up above a minute ago asked, I told a friend about your upcoming marathon. Where can I send in for more information about the roleplay relay? I think sending the Kickstarter page is the best way to get all of the information. It has the art, it has the character stuff. The Kickstarter is over, but that page still exists. With the video and all of that. So if you are looking to share the roleplay relay with your friends, definitely share the Kickstarter page. Are we going to share
Spooky Pixie said it's model clubs. Thank you. That's the term I was trying to remember.
Yes. Are we sharing the YouTube or the video from the Kickstarter on our YouTube channel?
No, we should make a trailer.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll do that. We'll come up with something this week.
We'll probably drop like that
on
Saturday so it's like 1 week until the relay. But yeah, don't believe the shit going around online that, you know, the actors and the writers are fucked and they're gonna have to settle for whatever they can.
Fucked.
Yeah, like that's not how it's gonna be. This strike is not gonna last till the end of the year. They're gonna have to concede.
Joe G, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you so much, Joe.
They say idea SAG highlights any media groups that have made and honored good contracts to promote their content instead, even not with SAG itself. I don't actually know if there are any. I don't know if there are any. I'm so sorry.
I wouldn't know.
Are there any good labor deals?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a great question.
Rodent, no last name, says, who wins over the strike? Korean cinema. That's a good point. Neither of us has ever seen Train to Busan, I realized. So we might watch Train to Busan soon. Yeah. Does anyone want to see that reaction?
Yeah, feel free to also join the Discord and share ideas. Obviously, we're going to make sure that we research it thoroughly about what we can do. Right? But we're definitely open to suggestions. We're not going to have all the time in the world to like do everything.
Yeah.
But recommendations definitely welcome. The Discord is a really lovely place, honestly. Like, y'all have been so fantastic, despite us having to throw our whole channel into disarray. But thank you for being here and for supporting us still.
Yes.
Train to Busan is great. Okay, all right. We got some love for that movie. Let's go.
I think, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I haven't seen it, but.
Skipcat says, rewatching your older content, does it actually help you? I like having your voices in the background while I game. Well, first of all, thank you. Yes, it does. Every view helps. Especially if you don't have ad blocker. Actually, no. Especially if you have YouTube Premium. We make more from YouTube Premium users than we do from ads, like per view. So if for some reason you have YouTube Premium and you want to throw our stuff on in the background, it actually is very beneficial to us.
Yeah.
Funny how that works.
Lightblind Fool says, what specifically do you think would be an acceptable deal for SAG to win? No use of scanning images, certain types of residuals. Yeah, those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that
you
is
can't
not
AI us.
going to
we get residuals from streaming services.
Yeah.
One thing, I made a TikTok about this, and I want to be really clear about this. The reason why Netflix is successful, not the reason, there are many reasons, but one of the reasons why Netflix is successful is because when Netflix was first starting to produce its own content, House of Cards, Lilyhammer, those early wave of shows, they came to the unions and they were like, hey, we are not making money like a network, right? We're small. We're just a baby. Could you give us a deal that would help us grow so that we wouldn't be burdened by all of the things that burden a network contract because we don't function in the same way? I was working in New York at the time. This was very controversial. There was, for the same reason that the CW contract was very controversial at the time, because SAG-AFTRA did not build in I actually think it was just after then, because SAG-AFTRA hadn't merged yet when this happened. But they hadn't put an end date on that contract. And so at the time, right now the SAG minimum for a day of background work is just under $200 a day, but at the time it was $154. And so if I worked on a Fox, NBC, ABC show like that, I would make 154 over 8, which means that for 8 hours of work, I would get 154 base pay dollars. You almost never make that. There's always bumps, and very few shows actually get you out of there in 8 hours.
It's like, no.
On a Netflix show, or on a CW show, I think the rate was 114 over 8, so $40 less. And on a Netflix show, it was 104. And so the same work, because for us, and this same kind of scale worked in the principals as well. I just wasn't doing principal work back then, so I can only talk about the contracts that I legitimately worked under and that I still have my pay stubs for. Like I could like show you how this all breaks down. Everyone was upset because from our perspective, as the people on set, there was no fucking difference in the work that we were doing, but we would make 2/3 of a contract on a normal show to work on a show just because it was on Netflix. Mm-hmm. And we're looking at it going, well, why the fuck would I accept the work on the Netflix shows when we're going to make so much less money? And so there was a long time where I refused Netflix work. I was like, no, fuck that shit. I am not working below the 154 over 8 rate. Anything else, I will not show up for. I did not work for the CW for a while, and I did not work for Netflix. The problem is that in my time doing background, because I only did it for about 4.5 years before I stopped, the number of contracts that were on that new media deal kept going up. And it started to be a lot harder to say no to that work. Yeah. And then I ended up being core on Gossip Girl. And so basically that means that like there was a group of people that we would get called in to do work constantly because we were Serena's friends. I don't know. I went to a lot of fake parties. And so I worked on a lot of episodes of Gossip Girl because of that. And so I ended up on the CW deal because they guaranteed me a certain number of days. And so I accepted a lower rate because the number of days was going to be high. And so that anger that we all felt early on at the CW deal and the Netflix deal, the new media deal, we all kind of just got normalized to the fact that, well, on this show I'm going to make a little bit less, but it's a day of work, right? And over time, the idea was that if Netflix grew, if these streaming services, these new media companies grew and they started to make money, this deal would end and they would eventually come back to us and we would have a better deal in the future because we gave them a deal to help them grow. We gave them a break so that it would be a little bit easier to get started. The problem is that they are grown. They are fully fledged media empires now making billions of dollars. Yep. And that deal that we gave them, that bargain, they've never come back with their side. They've never appreciated what they had and what we gave them and come back and gave anything back to us. Yep. And now they're arguing to take even more from us. They're still saying, no, we shouldn't pay residuals on this. Yeah. But do you know what's crazy? They're saying we shouldn't share in the success of a show with you because how could we possibly know what is successful? That's their fucking arguing point. They can't even figure out what succeeds on their own platform, which might be why they cancel so many fantastic television shows after season 1. Because they, admittedly, in their own words, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just fucking morons.
Pretty much.
We gave them a deal. We bargained. And we said, yeah, you know what? We want you to succeed. We want new media. We want more work. Mm-hmm. Let's take a couple of years where it's a little bit easier on you, and then we'll come back to the table, and you'll get up to those networks. And they're trying to pretend that Apple is a $3 trillion company. They're trying to pretend that they're still new media and they're just the little guy. And that is fucking bullshit.
Apple is definitely the little guy. I don't know why you would think otherwise. Someone joined the nerd table, but then retracted their comment, so I can't actually see who it was. But I just want to say thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Andrew Roy Chen, thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you.
Gonna miss your Wheel of Time Season 2 reactions, but totally understand. Yeah.
We will still record them.
Yep.
They will not come out until after the strike on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah.
Yes.
And we won't do a trailer on Wednesday.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to react to that trailer. So we'll just watch it, and then I don't know. Can we talk about it in the Discord? No. Even though Discord is like our own public server and not like publicly.
You can. I can't. You can though.
Yeah,
I won't. I won't, but I want you to.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not a member. You're not beholden to my rules.
I know that. Yeah. I know that, but I understand how important this is.
No, but I'm saying that, like, I don't want you to tweet about it, but if you want to talk about it in the Discord, I think that that's the line for me, right?
Okay, yeah, sure.
I just won't be discussing it.
For sure. That makes sense.
I might acknowledge that I've seen it in book club on Friday, but I won't say anything about it.
For sure. Yeah. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that in terms of, like, residuals for streaming services,
mm-hmm.
if they gave everyone the same residuals based on their role as opposed to based on views, do you think that would be a model that worked? Because then they wouldn't take down the popular shows because they were losing more money on them?
No, the point of residuals is that the more a show succeeds, the more we benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
That the more a show makes money, the more we participate in that success.
Yeah.
And so, no, residuals have to be based on popularity because they are about... These things do not exist without collaboration.
Absolutely.
And so the residuals have to be based on a respect for and a payment for the amount to which your collaboration benefited the production, and that has to be a share of the success. You cannot buy people out of the success of a project. It is unfair, it is unethical, and I will stand against it in absolutely everything.
Okay. Just wondering, but that makes sense.
Arnold Gagula, thank you so much for joining the Nargs. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much for that. Spudress, I understand you have to take off. Have a good night. Appreciate that. We will definitely be looking into, foreign content, the BBC, things that are not American made and are struck for the moment. Yeah, so we'll look into that. Should we do old Doctor Who reactions?
Yeah, that's like BBC, right? Like that wouldn't be SAG-AFTRA.
That would be brutal.
Do Tom Baker.
Oh God, wow. Some like OG. They did so many like movies and shit too, but
doesn't Disney own it now though?
Own it? I don't know.
Doesn't Disney own Doctor Who now?
I don't know.
Kvoth Pendrag, joined because of the strike. Currently in training for a new job, so can't listen completely, but sending love. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
Hope you're loving your new job. I'd recommend reacting to Dr. Stone. Not an anime fan, but I'm completely hooked on the story. I've heard really good things about Dr. Stone.
This is the first I'm hearing about it.
No, we talked about it with Holly. She explained the plot.
Oh.
It's the one where everyone is a statue and there's the doctor trying to like cure it.
Oh, Holly did not tell me about that one. It must have been you guys chatted about it. Because that does not ring any bells. And usually I'm like, oh, yeah, I can remember that happening. But what? What?
Nothing. You're just, babe, you're so good at remembering conversations we've had. It really is your skill set.
Yeah. That's why you keep me around. For memory and organization.
We have good news today. Here at the Nerdy Nightly and the Nightly Morning Show, we dropped some merch to the relay.
Yes.
Because we need more ways to pay for it. Not all of the merch is live right now. There's going to be some individual character merch that goes up as it's finalized. But for now, if you just want a shirt or a beanie or a bag that says Roleplay Relay on it, that's what you can have.
Hell yeah. Like you said, we are going to be adding more stuff, so this is not, everything that is going to be available. We're going to drop that link in the chat for you. Feel free to check it out if you want to support the Roleplay Relay.
Oh, you didn't add the collection to the...
Did I? I should have. Oh, no, because it wasn't live yet. I thought...
All right, we'll just do this.
You know
there's plenty of Roleplay Relay options. If that is something you might be interested in. There is a logo in the front, poster in the back shirt that is my favorite of what's up right now. Blue had already done that. Blue's ahead of me.
Thank you, Blue. Appreciate it. Sorry. We'll organize the store better so that the Roleplay Relay stuff is in its own category because the category's there, but for some reason it isn't showing up in that category. So I'll fix that for you guys. We got some merch hype because we got people to feed. You know?
Ferdawound says, while the subject is a bit all over the place, how do you feel about adding views, listens to across platforms? I watch your streams on YouTube, but it will help to also download the podcast. The number one thing you can do is go over to Apple Podcasts and rate us 5 stars. Yes. Leave a review, both of this show, the Nerdy, and I think it's just the Nerdy Nightly podcast feed for the Nightly Morning Show.
Yeah.
And then also go over to the book club and rate the book club 5 stars.
Now, and
leave a review, and I'll read that review on the pod on Fridays.
I think you do have to download it to leave a review.
You can leave a review online.
You can? Oh, I thought you had to download it so that you
not
can
on mobile,
randomly...
but like on...
But on a browser?
Oh, no, I think on Spotify you have to like listen to 2 episodes before you can review.
Gotcha.
I don't think on App Podcasts you have to.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
But that might be wrong.
Reviews are honestly a great way for other people to find the stuff that we're doing. Yes, all of that helps. All of it. Every little bit. Those of you who are like, yeah, I'm on my premium. That's amazing. Those of you who are like, wow, I might join YouTube Premium. That's amazing. Those of you who want to download the podcast.
Gary and S, who just joined the Nards of the Nerd Table. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for that. We really appreciate it.
Are you guys going to watch Zom 100? Don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. I'm so sorry. But I would like to find out.
Clarisse, I have a question for you.
You do? Okay.
Now that our merch is dropped, and we've talked about the strike quite a bit.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for embarrassing my sister at her engagement party by uncovering her lies about our childhood? Now, if you've never seen us do an Am I the Asshole before,
I almost
have you read this? Did you read all of it?
I skimmed through it. I actually did not read it.
Damn it! Well, because usually we try and guess before we read it. Mm-hmm. If the person's the asshole. So before I read it, do you think the person's the asshole?
Give me the title.
Am I the asshole for embarrassing my sister at her engagement party by uncovering her lies about our childhood?
Even from that title, no, you're not the asshole, because if you're a liar, you get your comeuppance, and that's just kind of how the world works.
Well, we might be surprised.
Blue
gifted 10 nightly memberships. Thank you, Blue.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Blue.
Thank you, Executive Producer Blue. Everyone say thank you, Executive Producer Blue. Executive Producer of the Roleplay Relay.
All right, let's read this. Yesterday was my sister 25F engagement party. Me and my 2 brothers, one is 22, 2 of us are 21, have been on the other side of the US for the majority of 2023 and didn't think we were going to be there for the party, but plans shifted and we ended up arriving home last Wednesday. All right, so surprise guests. Now, I'm honestly not sure if I was invited so much as we simply happened to live where the event was. Why wouldn't you be invited to your sister's engagement party? Do you guys... I feel like immediately I have questions. Why wouldn't you be invited? My sister didn't outright say she didn't want us there, but we didn't see much of her in the lead up. Well, that's not an invitation. We didn't really know any of the people at the party, so we're going around introducing ourselves to people, mingling, doing the party thing. You and I do parties very differently. At some point, someone mentions, I'm usually in a corner somewhere waiting for someone to come talk to me.
Eating. Drinking.
Shut up.
What?
Someone mentions the family photos on the wall and how they were surprised to see a ton of us on the wall when they didn't even know my sister had siblings. Red flag. This sent me down a whole rabbit hole of confusion. This person elaborated, and she said she was surprised to see this type of photo on the wall because apparently my sister had told all of her friends that my parents were extreme workaholics. We have a really nice house, so they weren't surprised by that. Just that it felt properly homey and lived in. Once again, I was thrown for a loop. Growing up, our home was the house. We had friends over constantly who were basically like extra siblings. My parents worked the normal amount, and they were home with us as much as possible. We got chauffeured around to sports practices. My parents took time to get to know all of our friends well. I would even go too far to say that they were more involved in our lives than average. It was my sister who really separated herself from everyone and chose to exclude herself from activities. At some point during the conversation, a few other people overheard, and soon there was a decent crowd of her friends around my brothers and I listening to stories of us growing up that were blowing the minds of people because it's apparently common knowledge among their friend group that our parents were so hands-on. And uncommon knowledge that we even existed. I ended up having a really good time and felt like I made new friends. At some point during this conversation, a few other people overheard, and soon enough, there was a decent crowd of her friends around my brothers and I listening to stories of us growing up that were blowing these people's minds because it's apparently common knowledge among their... Oh, I've already read that. After the event, apparently my sister was crying because I embarrassed her in front of all of her friends and that the work she had put in to separate herself from us golden children had been undone. Am I the asshole?
No. No. Look,
but you're also like... You're also not... Like, no one's the asshole in this situation.
I don't know. I think lying to your friends is kind of an asshole move.
But she didn't lie, and that's why it's important.
What do you mean she didn't lie?
The important distinction here is that...
She's like, my parents were workaholics and were never around.
Yes, okay, but, counterpoint.
Uh-huh.
I have a very different image of what my parents were like in the house than my youngest brother Brody does. Mm-hmm. Because there's a 7.5 year gap between us.
Uh-huh.
And our perception of what our house was like growing up is vastly different, right? I grew up when we didn't have any money, when my mom worked at home with a daycare.
Yeah.
And by the time Brody was born, my mom had a full-time job. Our life looked drastically different.
Yeah.
The stories that I tell about growing up in that house are very different than the ones that he does.
Yeah, but I don't think that makes you an asshole.
No, but I'm saying that it doesn't make her an asshole either. And it also doesn't make her a liar. Your perception of what your life was like growing up in that house is very different. Like, if you're...
Not talking about your siblings is weird, though.
But if you have 3 siblings who are incredibly close and you never were really a part of it, like, say you were like the art kid and they all 3 just played sports constantly, you might have the perception that your parents favor their sports and show up to their sporting events and otherwise work a lot and were not there for you in the same way that they were for the other siblings. And so you don't talk about your siblings much because you don't have much of a relationship with them. That isn't a lie. It's a matter of perception. And I think that if I was if I was a friend of the person who asked this question, I think that I would ask them, what kind of relationship have you tried to have with your sibling?
Yeah.
And because this story starts with the person saying, honestly, I didn't even know if I was invited.
Yeah.
So, like,
they're clearly not close.
Why are you surprised that she doesn't tell her friends about you if you don't have the kind of relationship where you think that you are just implicitly invited to your sister's engagement party?
Implicitly, she says she's not. She's like, I'm not sure.
But that's my point. If my sister got engaged, right? My older sister's married, but if my younger sister got engaged, my implicit understanding is that I'm invited to the engagement party no matter what, even if I can make it, whether I'm in the country or not, right?
Yeah.
I would go, oh, I have an invitation to that because I know my relationship with my family and I know that I have an implicit invitation to that party.
Right.
The fact that the poster of this doesn't know that in their heart of hearts immediately tells me they might not have had a great relationship with this sibling growing up, and that sibling might have a very different view of their parents than they do.
Right.
That doesn't make them a liar, and it doesn't make anyone in this situation an asshole. It is just they had a different perception.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. A lot of times it's like, oh, if the poster's not the asshole, then the other person's the asshole. But, like, yeah, I don't know if anyone's really, like, an asshole in this situation. Like, I don't think that the sister being like, you embarrassed me in front of my friends is necessarily fair either, because she's just talking about her own experiences. And I think that if she's going to acknowledge she had a different experience, she also has to acknowledge that her sibling has a different view of how their childhood was like.
I think that depends on how much they took over the party. You know what I mean? Like, I think that I if I was in this situation, I would have taken a step back and tried to make it about my sister personally, right? Because it's her engagement party, it's her day.
Fair.
Rather than intentionally telling stories that are going to antagonize the way her friends view her. And I would have done that in the past, and I think that I know that about myself, is that I have done that at siblings parties in the past, and I have fucked that up. But I don't know. I honestly, reading this, I don't think anybody's the asshole, but I do think the poster is not being empathetic to their sister's position.
That's fair.
And it's possible that their sister is also not being empathetic to their position.
Yeah.
But it's their sister's engagement party. It's about them. I don't know. The more I think about this, the more I'm really not on the poster side. I don't think they're an asshole. I'm just not on their side.
Fair. All right.
But I'm also, like, but also...
Maybe that's why they asked if they were the assholes.
It
they were
could
like,
be lies.
I'm very confused. Yeah.
But even in the post, they say, like, my sister was the one who isolated. It was my sister who really separated herself from everyone and chose to exclude herself from activities. That might be that you all participated in activities as a unit that she did not feel like she could participate in, that she wasn't interested in.
Yeah.
Doesn't make her an asshole, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
My family would argue that I did that growing up, because I was so dead set on going to New York, being on Broadway, doing musical theater, that I was never around. Yeah. Like, my siblings have literally been like, in high school, you got a car, you left at 8 a.m. every morning, you got home at midnight, and we did not see you for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then you moved to New York. And my siblings are right to say that, because that's what I did, because I was like, I have tunnel vision on this thing.
Yeah.
That perspective's not wrong, right?
Yeah, that's fair. We got a super chat from, can you scroll up for me, please?
Izathras,
thank you so much for that. As far as I know, Disney has purchased streaming rights to Doctor Who outside of the UK and has added funds to the production costs as a result.
They've only added production costs to upcoming stuff, though, right? Like the Return of Tenant and then the Ncuti Gatwa season.
Yeah,
so.
the older stuff.
I don't know.
Being produced by the BBC.
We're not going to react to Doctor Who, guys. That was
no,
a joke.
It was a joke, but it's still interesting to think about.
Garion, thank you for being a member of the Nards.
Thank you.
Hi from Ukraine, Slava
Hello.
Ukraine. Thanks for the book club. Fun TRPG fact, Malazan authors gamed a lot of it in GURPS before writing the novels, just sowing seeds. That's really cool. I love that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Canny, thank you for that super chat. Fun quick read would be the Belgrade by David and Lee Eddings. It's a YA, an earlier version of the Wheel of Time. Oh, okay, interesting.
Belgariad.
I'm always down for like an easy read.
We'll add it to the list.
I don't need everything to be. I can hit you over the head with this book and knock you out. You know.
Yeah. Rantal Moore says it's the sister's wedding, so like, why are they making it about themselves? And exposing their sister. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those weird situations where they were probably like, oh, I'm making friends and like being entertaining and like, adding life to the party, not realizing they were like taking away from like the actual point of the party, right? Because it wasn't just like a party, it was an engagement party. It was like for a specific thing.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's a big difference between saying you do not have any siblings and just never bringing them up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And if you never bring them up,
mm-hmm.
but if you asked about them, you acknowledge them, you probably didn't have a great relationship with them. You know what I mean? And that's okay. You're allowed to not have a great relationship with your siblings.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to be an adult who doesn't talk about your siblings very much.
Yeah.
I try not to talk about mine too much just because of how public I am.
Yeah, we don't need to put their lives on display just because we've chosen to do that with ours.
Well, and my sister has kids, and I really don't want... And I've told my family not to tag me in anything anymore. And so there's like family photos that I'm not tagged in. And the reason for that is I really don't want... Especially like going through like the death threats and the things that happen with Attack on Titan and stuff like that. I really don't want my sister and her kids to deal with the fact that I've decided to be very public.
Yeah, I mean, your Facebook is private, so.
Yeah, my Facebook is private. I don't follow any of my family members on like the Nerdy Nightly Instagram.
Yeah. Or Facebook
I'm
page.
probably going to private my acting Instagram as well because I don't really use it. I haven't posted on it in 4 years.
That's fair.
And it's just too close to my family. And like, I don't know. I just think that like I've decided to go down this path of putting myself online as much as I have. And, you know, you have an OnlyFans, and that's the reality of it. And so I don't want my family to be connected to that in any way, especially the kids, because I just don't believe in posting kids online. I don't think you should be on the internet until you're like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
And you can kind of decide for yourself if that's something that you want.
Yeah. I have very strong feelings about, like, people posting their kids on their social media, especially if they are an influencer. Every time I see a child's face on Instagram or TikTok, I immediately scroll. I don't care what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's appropriate. I have strong personal feelings about that, and obviously those feelings are not going to be shared by everybody, and I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. It just gives me ick.
Yeah, especially people whose content is their kids, like...
Yeah. Yeah,
I get it. It's easy to profit off your children, but like you are making some weird moral choices there.
Yeah, at least like, you know, if you're gonna do that, like do it with your pets instead, because at least they don't have the like cognizant ability to know what social media is. You know, like it's not my favorite.
Wait,
that is like a whole discussion.
I want to talk about something with you because we haven't talked about it publicly, and we haven't actually talked about it privately that much.
Ilshram, first of all, thank you for being a member for 6 months. I do want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for that. Is Clark's going to do One Piece with you now? No. Also, how wide is your net for a High Republic co-host?
I mean, honestly, it's someone who has really good filming equipment and is comfortable on camera. I don't care if you have a following or not. Like, that doesn't matter to me. It really matters that, like,
the quality.
Well, and I would want to do a chemistry test with them. So it's going to be someone who is down for a chemistry test and also is like down to like acknowledge that this probably won't make any money at first, but
yeah, it's more like a for fun thing.
I want a co-host who has a setup already and who I'm not like I don't have the money right now to like sponsor a setup for a co-host at the moment.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would prefer someone with a following of their own in the Star Wars space. But that is not necessarily necessary as long as the pod would be good.
Yeah.
But it really just depends on the vibes.
Yeah. Apocalypse Cow, also welcome to the dinner table. Appreciate that. You were going to ask me something. Sorry.
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
Oh, we're going to talk about that one?
Yeah, I wanna know how you feel about this.
Drama.
Okay, so Jonah Hill's text messages with his ex came out because she posted them on her Instagram story. And I feel crazy.
Why?
Because I'm not on her side. And I feel like everyone is.
Okay, my understanding of the situation is that she is a surfing instructor.
Yes.
And he was like, I don't want you posting pictures of you in a bikini doing your surfing instructing on
Shitty
social
behavior.
media. Yeah, that's my understanding of the situation.
No. Okay. Yes. Jonah Hill, what he texted her, not great.
Yeah.
Right? Jonah Hill and her are not like recently broken up.
Mm-hmm.
He is in a relationship with another woman who is recently pregnant with his child.
Okay.
And she was like, you know what's a good thing to bring up now?
Oh, the ex.
The ex.
Brought it up now.
Oh my God, Jonah Hill just announced that he's about to have a kid. Let me bring up how he wasn't great in our relationship in the past. That's where I'm like, girl, what are you, like...
I mean, she doesn't sound like a good person, but in the instance of what she brought up, I am on her side. I'm not going to go attack Jonah Hill for it because it's like, yeah, it was a thing that happened a while ago, and like, I'm always happy to give people the chance to be a better person.
Sure.
I think it's weird that, she brought it up.
That's the thing for me, is that everyone, I feel like the internet wants to so firmly be on her side. And I understand that, like, what he said isn't great.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm not defending his text messages.
What he said, yeah.
I'm just saying the timing of when you're putting this out, I'm personally the kind of person who says, don't post private text messages on the internet.
Yeah, don't air out your shit unless there's, like, an actual, like, valid reason to do so. Like, this person is like a predator or something, and you are like, I have proof of this, and it's like if there is like a safety reason, if you just have beef with somebody, fucking air it out with yourselves. I don't need to read people's fucking drama.
If you feel harassed and like you are in danger because of something, or if you feel like someone is using a past relation to blacklist you from something, or if there is current harm being done to you, I can understand putting the text messages publicly to be like, I am in this position where I do not feel safe.
Right.
Because of this.
But she just wanted attention.
but this man I don't talk to anymore, who is living a completely new life with somebody else, is happy and has a child on the way,
and so
now's the time where I'm going to insert myself back into his life because he sent me some text messages that are not great. Is not like, I just can't.
It's unhinged behavior.
But the internet is trying to be like, Jonah Hill is the worst man ever, and I just am like, her behavior is almost worse because her behavior is public. He was shitty in a conversation. Yeah. Sure. Then they broke up, and she's like, well, but like, I need to let go of this trauma. And so I'm going to let go of this trauma by making it so that I will hear about this trauma until the end of time. Because every single person I meet is going to ask me about this.
Yeah. I think that the reason people are so up in arms about it is because myself personally, and a lot of people that I know, have been on the receiving end of that kind of manipulative gaslighting, where they use these big umbrella terms, this like therapy speech, and like this holier than thou mentality that they like put upon you to like control you, right? And I think that the reason that a lot of people are just so up in arms about this specifically, even though it is not like new, is because it struck home for a lot of people who saw it in a completely removed light, right? They have no relationship to these people. They have no personal stakes in this issue at all whatsoever. And it was like shining a light on something that then people realized how it related to their own lives and how maybe they had been or were being manipulated. I think that's why it has blown up the way that it has, because he he used specific language that was very like triggering for people. Be like, oh shit, I have been in this exact situation, right? And I shouldn't have let myself be there. Like it like this is clearly like controlling manipulative behavior, and he was using it in a way that it was like, I'm the victim here. You know, I've been to therapy and I'm using these words in a way that is inaccurate, and therefore like kind of because they're inaccurate, they're being used inaccurately. It like gives fuel for the people who do those manipulative kind of behaviors. It gives them a new vocabulary for that kind of thing that makes them feel justified. So that's my kind of long-winded way of saying why I think it actually became a thing. She could have posted those, and a handful of people saw it and been like, okay, yeah, whatever. But I think that the reason it got the traction it did was because of that specifically.
All I'm going to say, and like, I'm not defending Jonah Hill.
No, I know.
Their relationship might have been the worst thing ever. It might not have been that bad. I don't know from a few text messages. What I will say is that I really hope that I am not judged at any point in my life for the worst text messages I sent at the end of relationships that were imploding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've sent some unhinged shit in my life. We all have. And I think that there are a lot of people who are playing holier than thou on Twitter with those text messages who, if you went back and you looked at some of the shit that you sent your exes, you would not feel so great about saying that he's the worst person alive.
For sure.
And I'm not, again, like, he might be. He literally might be. I don't know. I don't think those text messages are the like silver bullet that people seem to think about his personality.
Yeah.
Because I've been at the end of a relationship and I know what that can be like. And sometimes you say some really shitty stuff because your life feels like it's falling apart around you. And that's why my thing is that don't make that shit public.
Yeah.
Especially if you're gonna cut off your stuff. If you're only gonna send if you're only gonna post what he sent.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna post your side of the conversation, don't share it publicly.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of cropping to only things that he texted. And he looks insane. I agree. He looks insane. And if you read that and your first reaction is, wow, he looks unhinged, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying sometimes at the end of a relationship, people lose their minds a little bit. And I don't know. I'm not fully on the like, let's dig his entertainment career grave.
No, and I didn't know that it was a previous thing. I thought it was like current because it was just currently on my feed. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that's super shitty of him. But then I moved on with my life. You know what I mean? I
don't know. It's private conversations are tough. And much like how I don't want my sister's kids to be in any way connected to my public persona, I think that sometimes your breakups should also just be... unless like literal harm happened.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
But gaslighting isn't literal harm. You know what I mean? That there can be a harmful response to it.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong.
It can be harmful behavior in terms of like manipulation. But like you said, we'll never know the full context behind this because it's like, we don't know how the actual relationship was. We don't know if they both use this kind of language and it was like acceptable for each of them to speak to one another like this. We just don't know. And that's why, I'm like, don't fucking put it online. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to, I literally like, that's why I don't watch reality TV is because I'm like, drama, I cannot be bothered. Especially once people have moved on to other things. Yes. Don't insert yourself into your partner's next relationship. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. It's really shitty. Zedrock, I did it once and I feel bad about it. Zedrock, welcome back to the nerd table. Starting like loving the Loot Crate Memories box. Gotta love it. Yeah, that's a throwback. Blast from the past. Kyle Franson, thank you for that super chat. Thank you for that super duper chat. Are there any charities supporting union members who may be in need of support? I can't say that I'm sad we're continuing with the book series, though. I understand that. I'm also not sad to be reading Memory of Light soon. There is a strike fund. I thought you were going to drop our merch link, because that's just what opened. No. Oh my goodness. Someone, Trintron says exactly why you're the sitter of the Pink Aja. I will gladly instate the Pink Aja. Fucking Ranland needs therapy. I won't be the sitter for it. I will be the facilitator for it because obviously I have no education in that kind of thing. I would put somebody who actually knows what they're talking about a little bit better than I do. But I will gladly facilitate therapy for Randland because God, do they need it. The Entertainment Community Fund. I'm going to post the link to the Entertainment Community Fund. We might be doing a live stream to promote this soon. We're trying to figure that out. Yeah, the relay is taking up a lot of our brain power at the moment.
And to be honest, like I would love to make an element of the relay charity, but
we have people to pay.
Well, okay, I'm gonna be fully transparent.
Oh wow, okay.
We're gonna lose money on the relay, and we thought that was gonna be okay because we thought that all the rest of our content would just be going as normal and that everything would be fine,
and that we wouldn't be stopping a major stream of our income.
Yeah,
that's fair.
So you know, if you want to like keep your YouTube memberships going through the strike and like Patreons, I thought things were going to be more okay going into the relay. I had a bit of a panic attack yesterday when I realized that we're going to be stopping posting new stuff like Ahsoka and Wheel of Time Season 2 and all these things that were going to bring new eyes in and bring money in.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be okay with losing money on the relay because we make money elsewhere, but we can't really make the relay a charity thing because we're not going to make money on we're going to lose a lot of money on the relay.
Yeah,
and we're fine. It's not the end of the world. We're okay. Obviously, we've had a lot of super chats today. Like, look, my life is privileged and I'm fine. We're just not as fine as I thought we were gonna be.
Yeah. It's just been we've been just thrown for a loop, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is our first big real production that we are producing. Like, and that just comes with a lot of expenses, like flying people here, food, housing, like. Fucking toothbrushes, you know, we're gonna have some extra stuff in the house to make sure that everybody has anything that they could possibly need because our number one goal is to take care of the people who are doing this with us. They're our friends and our loved ones, and they come first.
Having said that, we hired everyone first and then started to budget things. So here's a business tip from someone who owns a small business. When you're going to put on a giant production of a size you've never done before, with costs that you maybe have never considered before, consider those costs and then tell people about it. Don't ask your friends to be a part of it, and then just announce it and make posters and put dates in the world. And then have to start a Kickstarter after that because you realize that, holy fuck, you did not understand how much money was going to go into this thing.
Did you not? Because I did.
I did not. And so thank God for the Kickstarter. Thank you to everyone who supported the Kickstarter.
I'm not even the math person.
I just was excited about the idea. And now the reality of the idea is different from my excitement over the idea.
I fully expected all of that. I did not expect the strike, obviously, and for us to not be able to do reactions anymore. But yeah, I was like, when you brought this up to me, I was like, okay, yeah. No,
I also thought the strike would. If the strike wasn't happening, we'd be fine.
Yeah. We are fine.
Yeah,
we are fine.
But it is gonna. We're gonna take a hit.
Sure.
Our views are gonna dip. Our income's gonna dip. That's just the reality of it. And like,
I'm not a weird couple weeks
asking you guys to like overcome that with I don't want to be like beggy about it because we're fine. We are okay. I don't want people to think that we're like falling apart. It is just that when you're in the middle of something huge, and then something like this just comes up and it's unexpected and you're not prepared for it. There's like a grieving process to saying, hey, y'all, our channel's changing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a grieving process to being like this expanse thing that we're not doing anymore because we're in the middle of it and like that's hard.
Yeah.
Blue, stop it. The fuck is wrong with people? Fucking Bears on Roller Skates revealed what the like top that you could donate was, and now fuck you, Blue. I hope you liked your fucking Kickstarter survey.
Blue, you're already the executive producer. What more do you want?
What are you producing now, Blue?
Blue's gonna produce that movie.
God damn it. Blue's gonna produce the movie.
That you wanna write. Oh no. Are you okay?
Wow, that was weird.
You alright?
I'm gonna die. Blue murdered me with a super chat. Blue, the FBI is gonna show up at your door and be like, "Are you Blue? Are you executive producer Blue? Did you murder Nerdy Nightly with a super chat?"
Oh my god.
Oh my god, you guys are so silly.
Literal mad lad.
Blue, this isn't book club. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? Wrong live show.
This isn't book club. We're not supposed to get super chats not on book club. This is weird. Today's been weird.
I know. Wow, you guys have been like way too kind.
Blue killed Nerdy.
That just like sounds like a weird like dark spin on like
Blue's
like
Clues.
Yeah, like a kid's like cartoon because it's like Blue and Nerdy are not like typical names.
In the alternate past where I actually booked Blue's Clues.
Oh my god.
The
alternate timeline.
I was never going to book that job.
Oh, please.
No, everybody knew that they wanted a person of color. Like everyone who got that audition knew they were looking for a person of color, and I was like to my agent Judy, I was like, "What? Do you want me to submit?" Like,
goddamn, we're gonna have to give like Blue like shares in the company or something.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that how that works?
No, we're not publicly traded. That's not how that works. We can't.
I don't understand.
There's no shares in this company.
We're
not.
I don't understand the market.
So funny thing, my alarm is Blue's Clues. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. I wonder who it's from. Could it be from Fourth Wall with the merch that we're waiting for? Could it be from Fourth Wall? I want my fucking shirts.
We ordered merch that was supposed to like be here for the show.
We were going to be wearing the merch and then
wearing it. Well, I'm wearing the other merch. You know, I'm wearing the book club.
You're just trying to show off your tits. Calm down.
I'm always trying to show off my tits. God damn, you don't need to call me out like that.
Since we're going to be making less money in the near future, there's a website that you can go to.
Blue, thank you. Please don't kill my husband. Like, I genuinely don't know what I would do without him. But thank you.
Guys, no. You don't have to up your Patreons. I'm okay. My panic attack was short-lived. It was more about the like emotional stuff, not about the money. We're fine. We're okay. Don't do what Blue does. Blue's
He just says
crazy.
don't all cancel your memberships en masse because then we might cry.
Don't cancel. Just stay at the like normal tier. You don't have to be mad lads. We just stick around. Join the Patreon. There's gonna be a lot there that you can't get publicly.
We should honestly. We've talked about adding a like middle Patreon tier for people.
I know, but then we have to add something to make it of value.
Well, but that's what I mean. And so if you have stuff that you like, if you have an idea for something that you would want from us from like a middle Patreon tier, please let us know. It is something that we've thought about, but like we don't really know what you guys want or what we can like add to our plates. I don't know. Well, it's an idea.
No, don't up your Patreon. No. Oh my god, you guys, this is all
your fault. I hope that you know that. I was
being transparent because I want to be honest, not because I'm like, I don't want you to feel like we are okay. We are okay. Guys, we just went to LA for 10 days. We're fine. Our life is great.
And then lost all the content that we did. Sorry. That was mean. It sucked. I'm still not over it, okay? Those pants that we shot were really cool, and I'm a little sad about it.
I'm like trying to be like, we're okay, and you're like, we lost all the content that we made in LA.
I know. It's fine. I'm still sad about it.
I'm glad this is at the end of the show so that most people will have clicked off by now and never hear this part of it.
I don't know about that.
You brought in Am I the Asshole? Should we like try and move on?
And so asks, because they just joined the stream, are we stopping anime reaction content or continuing? We are continuing with animation. Anything that is not from a struck company, we are continuing with.
If anything, we're doing more anime.
Yeah, anime is
One
fine.
Piece.
Foreign films,
Vinland
fine.
Saga.
Totally fine.
FMAB.
FMAB.
You know what? We're bringing back Attack on Titan. We don't have a choice. The actors' strike has put us in a desperate position, and we will react to the rest.
I hate you right now. For legal reasons, that was a joke.
Maybe.
I think.
We'll see.
Cool. Cool.
Oh my god.
I love that for us. Wow. Surprise.
Ildrum, when does One Piece start? I'm going to watch 2 episodes today. I'm going to send it to our editor, and then it will go up as soon as they edit it and give it back to me.
Blue says that their super chat is going to go towards My Dress Up Darling reaction fund. So I feel like
I'm going to watch 2 episodes of My Dress Up Darling today. I'm going to send it to the editor.
Yes.
And it will go up.
We got to keep our editor employed, guys.
Oh my god. At some point, yeah, $100 gets you a reaction. So if you want us to react to something that isn't struck,
yeah, go for it. We
will do the rest of Attack on Titan for $100 an episode. So if you want to send us $1,000, we will react to the rest of Attack on Titan.
Oh my god. How dare you?
If you PayPal me $1,000, I will watch the rest of Attack on Titan on video.
Okay, I'm not talking to you anymore. Christina, I want to say thank you. It's really like sweet that we're the first Patreon that you've joined.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. I hope you got an answer to your question. Sometimes I can't tell because people pop in and out. Yeah, the best way to find out information about the roleplay relay is through the Kickstarter link. It's got everything there. We're also going to be posting a video about it. Like a trailer kind of thing to hype people up. What are you doing?
So Randall Moore says, so $800 for EXU Calamity. No. If Attack on Titan is going to be $100 per 22 minutes, EXU Calamity is $100 an hour. Okay?
What?
Reacting to EXU Calamity is $100 an hour.
But you're saying Attack on Titan is $100 for 22 minutes.
Yeah, Attack on Titan is more expensive than other shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without a doubt, Attack on Titan is, because when it goes live, I'm gonna get more death threats. So you have to pay me for the inconvenience of getting death threats.
Sure. Yes, that's fair. That's fair. Nidfram is asking if you're liking Full Metal Alchemist more now than when you began.
Oh, guys, I'm so excited for episode 19 to go live tomorrow.
There's some good shit on Patreon.
Oh my god.
If you're over there, but
episode 19 might be the best episode of any anime I've ever watched.
That is high praise.
It's like, no, it's not. It's not the finale from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which I still think is the best individual episode.
Almost. Yeah.
19 and 20 are both great.
Yeah.
I really like Fullmetal Alchemist. I've had like little complaints here and there in the last 10 episodes. Like the whole Xerxes thing is very funny to me. Because anime just lives in this world where like characters can just show up places and it doesn't matter. And it makes the world not feel real to me, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think Fullmetal Alchemist is... I love watching it. Like, I'm excited to keep watching it tomorrow. We're going to record some more Fullmetal tomorrow. Those will go live on the Patreon this week. And I'm really excited for that. I love the show. I think it's great. Ever since about episode 12, I've been, like, fully on board.
Yeah.
And, like... I think that people are like, oh, you didn't like the like horses to Xerxes thing, so you hate the show now. And I'm like, no, it's like one thing in one episode that I didn't love. Like,
or it's like you don't love Ling, but that's not the entire show, right? Like
I just want Ling to feel connected to everything else.
You just don't love his story, like what he is in the show right now, that's okay.
I don't think he's introduced well, but at the same time, I also don't think the show has introduced anything well, except alchemy. You know what I mean? Like, I think everything has had a weak start.
Yeah.
And then the show grows things really well. Like, the way they grew Armstrong as a character, I think has been phenomenal.
That's fair.
Hawkeye. I fucking love Hawkeye. I don't like Mustang. And I don't know why. I don't have a specific... But it's weird, because I don't have a specific reason.
I have a feeling you'll figure it out.
I don't really like him that much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I should, because it's Travis, and he's, like, my favorite person. And I like the voice. There's something about his character that I just don't get yet.
We'll chat because I think I know, but I'm not going to put that upon you.
Yeah.
At Rantomore, thank you for making me laugh. Anime lives in a world where prescription glasses are the most reflective surface ever made.
That is, yeah.
Correct. But only if you're suspicious.
Arazu says, can I pay you to read a super slutty book and do a book club about it?
Yes. We were literally talking, we're like, okay, if we do the Naughty Nightly, what if it was like a smutty book and we did like dramatic readings from it?
Yeah, we were like, should we just do an ACOTAR book club?
Yeah, something along those lines. I did tweet about it. If you're not following me on Twitter, I'm sorry, but you're missing out on
Here's the thing, it wouldn't be until September because we have the relay and then we're taking August off.
Yes.
Not off. There'll be reactions and stuff that goes up, but we're not adding anything in August.
Maybe we'll do it for my birthday. We'll put it out on my birthday.
During Fan Expo?
Oh, it would have to, be live.
No, but then we'd have to take the next week off. So I'm saying when we get back from Dragon Con, we'll do it.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But yeah, we're thinking about doing ACOTAR, and doing dramatic readings of all of the sex scenes when we get to them.
Yeah, like Gilbert Gottfried did for the
And then I put his penis inside of my mouth, and it was salty. I could taste my quivering quim upon the tip of his penis.
I'm sorry, what is quim?
Vagina.
I have never heard this word before. I think you're lying. Preferred genre, fantasy. Fantasy, for sure. Give me some smutty elves, smutty goblins.
Quim, noun. British taboo. The female genitals.
I've never heard that before.
I know. It's because you're uncultured.
Fair enough. That's fine. New question, but what is the roleplay relay? No worries at all. So the roleplay relay is our first big show that we're producing, and it is 168 hours of continuous Dungeons and Dragons. It starts at 5 p.m. on July 29th. There might be a bit of a pre-show for that as well. And it runs for, as I said, 168 straight hours, full week. There's going to be 2 teams switching off every 12 hours. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy huge project. If you like TTRPGs, it's going to be the place to be for that week. And we hope to see you there.
Jonathan Spears says, yeah, the reference to Cyberpunk made me think, ooh, what about Arcane? We watched Arcane.
We did Arcane, so unfortunately we
Don't
cannot
go watch our
react.
review. I'm going to private that review.
Why?
Because it's so negative, and like it was when we didn't know what we were doing, and it is not good.
What do you mean? We loved the show except for the finale.
Yeah.
Like, we loved the show except for the finale.
I just feel like I remember that show I like more fondly in retro. I want to like watch it again and then do an updated review because I think I got it wrong the first time.
Should we react to our own review?
I still don't like the ending.
About it?
I don't like the ending of Arcane.
I agree.
I think that especially now that like we might not get a season 2, I really don't like it. Well, it's been a year and a half.
Yeah, I guess.
2 years.
Yeah.
It's been. Wait, when did Arcane was January of. Yeah, it's been a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like, and there's no announcement of season 2 yet. If that's all we get, I don't think it was. I think that it's like it's like Dune Part 1, where like I need Part 2 to understand if I like this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
I don't like Dune Part 1 on its own, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's very well made. I just think that like narratively and contextually, I need Part 2 before I can really determine how I feel about Part 1.
Yeah.
With Arcane, I'm like, I don't like how the season ends.
Yeah.
Because I think it is just kind of it's just kind of the ending falls flat to me.
Yeah.
And so I want to see season 2 before I really judge it, but I do think Arcane is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir Jim asked, serious question, how much smut is going to be in the roleplay relay? Well, most of the players are bisexual. So
yeah,
I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be a bunch of degenerates.
There's never gonna be anything like sexual, in that like it will fade to black. We're not gonna role play any.
Oh, we're not gonna role play through sex scenes, but our characters probably fuck.
Yeah, if they want to, yeah. But for me, like I don't, especially because people are sharing characters, I'm going to say that we are going to fade to black.
Yeah.
When it actually gets there. The flirting will be there, but we're not going to have people actually, like, roll constitution checks to see how they did. Like, that stuff's, I think that's funny in a private game. I think that can get a little bit weird online, and so we're just going to avoid it.
Matthew Wild says, fellow Dune Part 1 disliker finally. You are among friends here, because I don't get it.
I don't dislike it. I just don't.
You liked it better than I did.
Yeah, I it's not that I dislike it. I think that it is it's boring, but it's really well made, and I think that it will. I need to see what they're doing with the story in Part 2 before I can really determine. I'll be honest. I prefer David Lynch's Dune to Dune Part 1. Mm-hmm. I do. I really like David Lynch's Dune. I've liked it since I was a kid. Part of that might be nostalgia. That's fine. But for my taste, like Part 1s I usually struggle with. And
I'm just mad that they fucking butchered Jessica's character.
Yeah,
and
I haven't read the book.
Don't know if I will recover from that. Apparently season 1 took 10 years to animate for Arcane.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's beautiful. It's like one of the most beautifully animated things ever made. I have literally not one complaint visually. I think the show is utterly like perfection in the animation.
Yeah.
And I think the first 6 episodes are awesome. I just don't think the third arc is as strong as the first 2, and I don't think it ends in any way that I'm really into, or that I understood what like thematically they were going for. Particularly with Jace's character, who I just kind of feel like his story just kind of ends, and you're like, okay,
yeah,
is he dead? Don't know. We'll find out in season 2.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Do you want to share your Am I the Asshole so we can get that out of the way, and then we'll start wrapping up?
Let's find out who's the asshole. Let me...
Nifrium says, question out of the nerdy theme. What are your thoughts on queerbaiting in modern media? I've been watching Lucifer, and he's supposed to be bi, but feels more like queerbaiting.
I hate that term, and I honestly think that term is like just an excuse for people to get angry.
I don't hate it. I definitely think there are times when it's real. I don't agree that Lucifer is queerbaiting, because he fucks guys on that show. He like is with a woman. He's bi, but like he definitely has sex with men on the show. Not, you don't see it because it's a CW show.
Yeah.
But Lucifer is legitimately queer. I don't know how I feel about it. I think that sometimes people use queerbaiting in ways that I find uncomfortable. I think that if you accuse a real human being of queerbaiting, you don't understand what it is, and you don't understand. Like, Harry Styles isn't queerbaiting by dressing effeminately.
Yeah.
He is expressing his gender identity the way that he wants to. And so the idea that a straight man wearing a skirt is queerbaiting to me is the most destructive and stupid thing you can say, because you are essentially saying that as a queer person, you are saying that straight people should live within a gender role that as a queer community we are trying to say doesn't matter.
The
only thing that can be queerbaiting is when companies use the LGBT community and fake being part of the LGBT community in order to extract dollars from the LGBTQ community. And I feel like that is happening less and less, because I think that representation for queer people is getting better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that the term is often used wrong, but I am in support of it when it is used right. Because I do think there are people who try and profit from the LGBTQ community. I mean, look at what Bud Light just did with Dylan Mulvaney, right? They did this ad with her, and she got all these death threats, and they cut the ad, they fucked off, and they never reached out to see if she was okay. And, like, I don't know Dylan personally, but, like, I wish that I did so I could be there for her, you know what I mean? Because she deserves all the support in the world after what she went through.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane what she went through, and she deserves so much love and support right now.
Yeah.
And the fact that she got zero of that from Bud Light, like, I'm not, like, publicly boycotting. I'm not making a big deal out of it, but I'm not buying Anheuser-Busch products at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's because they didn't stand by her. They gave her money and they asked her to promote them, and they used her to sell their beer, and then they didn't stand by her. And I think that that's fucking bullshit. And that to me is queerbaiting.
Yeah.
They set up Dylan Mulvaney as a lure to attract in all the rainbow fish in the sea. And then when we started to bite, and the other fish got mad, they pulled the lure in, but left Dylan to sink to the bottom of the ocean and drown. And to me, like, that is the problem. Lucifer being bisexual but dating a woman as a bisexual man who's married to a woman, I do not see as a problem.
Yeah. I think that that's a pretty accurate representation of bisexual people.
Yeah, I'm still attracted to and have sex with men. People know about us. We're not
I was
subtle.
like, people watch book club. We're not,
We told people we were having a threesome on Friday night. Like, for us to sit here and pretend that we live some puritanical life would be hilarious.
No, I know. I know. It's just very funny.
It was great, by the way, in case anyone was worried.
Yeah, everyone was really worried.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think that, I don't know. I think it's difficult, but.
Yeah. No, I haven't watched Lucifer, so it's not something I can comment on, but I appreciate your insight into it.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah. That's fair. I have a question for you.
Before you do that, let's just do this. Yeah. Arizu, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you so much.
Is the red, white, and royal blue movie on your radar at all? I know you can't YouTube react, but just watching yourselves. I can't talk about it.
What does that mean?
It's a Netflix movie.
Cool.
You know what? Here's what I'll say.
I have no idea what that is.
Go watch content, and go watch content that stars gay people. We're not asking for a boycott of content, so go watch it.
Well, if it's gay, I want to watch it.
But I'm not promoting it.
I don't know what that's supposed to be.
It's a movie on Netflix.
That's come out already?
I don't know. But we're not talking about it because we're not promoting Netflix.
Yeah,
fuck Netflix, pay your writers.
Yeah, I just want to watch a queer movie.
So watch queer movies, everybody.
Yeah, and like
Arzu,
tell me
if it's queer, watch it.
Tell me about it in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great. Okie dokie. I have a question for everybody here. Am I the asshole for purposely not intervening and letting my little sister cause a minor accident with my car and making her partially cover damages to teach her a lesson about distracted driving? from that title.
Wow.
Am I the asshole?
Can you imagine if she had like died and he'd known that he could have stopped the accident? Can you imagine what you like the way that guilt would have ripped him apart for the rest of his life if it had gone worse than he thought it was going to? That's yes, you are a fucking asshole.
Okay.
She's also everyone in that situation sucks, right? Don't drive distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody sucks. But like to take that risk at all, not knowing what for 100% what the consequences are gonna be, holy fuck.
J Star, thank you so much for that super chat. Arcane season 2 is definitely in the works. I work in animation and following the production gossips among insiders. People at Fortich, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. I've been working on it and recruiting like crazy since the end of season 1. That is great news. That is awesome.
That's awesome. And like, here's the thing. I think that season 2 could frame the end of season 1 in a way that I love it.
Yeah.
I don't love it on its own.
Yeah.
And that happens with stories that are unfinished, right? Sometimes you're in the middle of a story and you're going, I don't love where it's going right now, and I need a framework to help me love it.
Yeah.
And season 2 can give me that. And like and it's why like media criticism is so complicated, because people are like, well, you didn't like season 1. And I'm like, no, I just didn't like where it left off in the middle of what it left off in the middle of. And I want season 2 to help me understand how I should feel about it.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. I think it's the most beautifully animated thing after, well, no. I think the 2 Spider-Verse movies are my favorite animation I've ever watched in my life.
That's
and
fair.
then Arcane is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then How to Train Your Dragon 3 is number 3. Those are like my favorite animations I've ever watched in my life.
I gotta throw
That aren't
Zootopia up in
Studio
there.
Ghibli. Computer animation. I don't compare drawn animation and computer animation.
Fair.
Separate things.
That's totally fair.
Because to compare Spirited Away to any computer animation is not fair. Spirited Away is also one of the most amazing things I've ever watched in my life.
Yes. Should we find out if this person is still the asshole?
Hoodwinked. Thank you
Thank
for that
you
super
for
chat.
that
Jeffrey,
super chat.
995, still your favorite gay movie. Haven't seen it. Might watch
I
it.
have not seen it either. That'd be fun. All right, so here's a bit of context. My 25 male, little sister, female 18, let's call her Christy, has recently gotten her
Let's call her
license.
Christy. That's not my name.
I don't. Okay. She obviously thinks she's an incredible driver and can handle a car no matter what. After only 4 months of driving, she's already become one of those girls who puts their phone between their thighs to be able to look at messages and access quickly while driving. It drives us all insane to BH, and I and multiple other family members have talked about it multiple times. It goes in one ear and out the other. Yesterday, she did it again while driving my car when we were going out to get groceries. She had been distracted for almost the whole drive and even continued to look at her phone after a brief break when I told her to cut it. When she was about to roll into a parking lot, she probably got a message and looked down at her phone. I noticed that as she was about to ram into a lantern, and when I was sure she wouldn't cause damage to other vehicles, I decided to just let her run into it instead of intervening. It was a huge shock to her, and she just sat there for completely still for like 15 seconds processing what just happened. It wasn't until I said, "Will you learn to leave that fucking phone alone now?" that she spoke again. First thing she said was, "Why didn't you tell me?" In an absolutely baffled tone, I told her straight up that I didn't tell her so she'd learn a lesson. She was absolutely livid and tried to push all the blame onto me for not intervening, but I told her it would have been the same outcome had I not been there, and that ultimately she, as a driver, is responsible for not only her, but all passengers' safety. Christy was absolutely gobsmacked that she fucked around and found out. Even more so when I told her she would have to account for half the damages caused in the accident that the insurance wouldn't cover. In total, that was shy of just shy of $200. Blown out light, bent bumper, and a dent in the hood, plus some scratches. She went completely wild, but I told her that she's lucky I'm not making her pay for everything since she was driving while being on the phone. A few days after the insurance gave me the sum, I told Christy what she owes me, which she paid immediately. She told me apparently because of this she won't be able to go on a trip with her friends and that I'm a massive asshole. She also added she would have learned her lesson otherwise too. I personally doubt that she would have, and honestly, distracted drivers are the worst. Am I the asshole?
Yeah.
Really? Really? Here's the thing. I think
If you are in a position where you regularly drive with someone who you cannot stand the way that they drive, and it's your car, just drive. I don't really understand why he's letting her drive his car if he thinks that she's not a safe driver. I'm confused by so many elements of this story, but like, I still hold. If you can see that an accident's about to happen, stop the accident. Do it loudly so that you can be like, "Ah!"
Okay.
Because you can teach the lesson through anger in a way that doesn't make you look like the asshole in this situation. But letting her crash your car, yeah, she is a worse asshole than you. You know what I mean? Like on the sliding scale of asshole, she is further down that scale. But you're not, you don't get a free pass here.
I think not the asshole. I think it's very kind, actually, to not make her pay for full damages.
Nah, you're a prick. Like, can you, like, what if your car's in the shop for a week?
Then you...
It's your fault. Like, if you can stop the accident, you stop the accident.
Look, here's my thing.
And you don't let that girl drive.
Here's my thing. Yeah, maybe she shouldn't be driving, but maybe there is a reason for that we don't understand. I think that he probably did her a favor because nobody died in this situation, and so many people are victims to distracted driving and have lifelong consequences. And so this is like the softest lesson that she could have learned. I don't think the asshole.
I agree with that because it worked out, right? But if it hadn't, if something worse had happened...
They said they had enough time to analyze the situation that they were just going to bump into a pole, and so if you have the time to make that call, I understand that. I think this person might have potentially saved lives.
All right, whose pole is it?
Whose pole is it?
Yeah, they say it's like a lantern, right? Who does that belong to?
Well, I'm assuming it's the city, but
did they pay for that?
Well, so the insurance covered whatever they covered, and then they covered the rest. They covered half of the rest, right?
I agree with the element of she's distracted driving and like she needs to learn that lesson and stop, right? I agree with that 100%. I just think that using the lantern that you don't own to do that in a way that causes you to have an accident that might have consequences you're not sure of, like I just think there's a way to do this that would be better. And I all I'm saying is that I do agree she is the worst asshole here, but I just don't think that you're like, I don't think this is the right way to handle the situation. And I think that if you cannot communicate with your sister how to drive not distracted without letting her get into an accident, then I think that you're doing a bad job.
Apparently they have, and multiple family members have spoken to her about it, and it has made no difference. Some people have to learn lessons, I think, from actions, not from words.
Yeah, and because this was okay, that's okay, right? But if if $200 is a lot to this girl, say she had like freaked out at the last second because this was happening and had like accidentally pressed the gas, shot forward, and it had been like $5,000, right? And suddenly this girl owed $2,500 that she doesn't have, and so now like you have impacted months of her life trying to pay that off. I don't think that you're in the right for being like, well, you had to learn that lesson in a way that leads to consequences that you don't know what they're going to be before you teach them the lesson. I think that there's a risk here. And like the risk makes you a bit of an asshole. You took it and it worked out and it's fine because it was only $200. But like, I think that like you are still a little bit of an asshole for letting it go this way.
Yeah, I think that that's a fair argument. I just know that, like, when I was growing up, the only way that I learned lessons was from consequences to my own actions, right? My parents were, like, very, kind of, like, let me do my own thing, make my own choices, and if those choices had consequences, then, like, they were on me, and so I would learn what those were, as opposed to a parenting style where you totally shelter and cushion a person. So then when they're finally on their own, they make mistakes that they're not, like, ready to make or have a support system to deal with. I think I prefer what my parents did personally because it worked out for me. And I think that this is, like, a similar situation where it's, like, you kind of have to let people learn the consequences of their own actions. And it wasn't like it was, like, a premeditated thing. Like, yeah, we're going to take her out driving and I'm going to set up something so that she's going to, like, crash. It was, like, in a moment. It was, like...
No, in the moment, he went, she's going to get into an accident right now. You know what? I'm going to let that happen.
Yeah.
You have to be a little bit of an asshole.
Everyone's a little bit of an asshole.
And be... No, I would never... You know what I mean? Like, if I was sitting in a car and I was like, oh, we're about to hit that thing. No part of my body is going, yeah, I'm going to let this happen. Especially if it's my fucking car. There is not an iota of an atom in my body or soul that would allow my sister
Well, we like our
to
car.
intentionally crash my vehicle.
We like our car, okay?
Like there just isn't. There is no part of me that would allow this to happen because there are other consequences. I need my
I'm
car.
more of an asshole than you, though. Like, we know that for facts.
Like, if I thought it was just going to scrape the side, fine. But if it's going to dent the bumper and the lights, that means my car is in the shop. Like, that and I think that's the biggest thing for me is I'm like, you are choosing to be inconvenienced for a while.
Fair.
And maybe you have great insurance and you get a free rental car while your car's in the shop or whatever. But, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think you kind of have to be a little bit sociopathic to be watching an accident about to happen in your own vehicle and think, this is a good time to teach my sister a lesson and why not to be on your phone in the car. I just think you have to be a little bit crazy. Because you don't know what's going to happen. Right? Like, you just don't. You don't know what it's going to hit. What if it hit something? What if it hit an expensive thing and suddenly your sister is like, I have $200 and you're like, fuck, I'm out $4,000. I hope that lesson was worth it. You know what I mean? And like, look, distracted driving is a terrible thing. People literally get killed all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine being in this situation and watching my car about to be fucked up and thinking this is a good time for her to learn a lesson at my expense. What's crazy is the person this person is being the biggest asshole to is themselves.
Yeah, they paid for half
Why
of
are
it.
you letting this girl drive your car?
That is what I don't really understand.
You're an asshole for letting her behind the wheel constantly. That's on you. You're in the car. It's your car, which implies to me that you can drive it. Why are you giving her the steering wheel? If you want to pay attention enough to the road that you know the accident's coming, and she wants to be on her phone, do what we do, where I drive, and this motherfucker sits in the passenger seat like a little princess and is on her phone, not paying attention to me the whole time. That's how you handle that situation. You don't give the girl that you don't think is a safe driver the keys to your car constantly enough that you get into a position.
You're gonna give me the keys to the car when I learn
I
how.
am not!
Yeah.
When have I let you do that? I let you drive one time and I was frightened for my life. And we weren't even moving.
So was I. But I have to learn somehow.
Nah, whatever.
Okay? I gotta.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Look, I'm not even saying that it is the wrong move for him to do this. I'm just saying that you're still kind of the asshole.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Everyone's an asshole.
Like, this is an asshole way to teach somebody a lesson.
Oh man, I'm surrounded by assholes.
And so, if you want to do it this way, do it this way. Mm-hmm. But don't sit there and be like, I'm 100% in the right. You're not. You damaged public property. Somebody has to pay for that. And maybe it was you, but like, I don't know that they did. Like, you know, who knows what the consequences of this might have been? All I'm saying is that it is more complicated, and you're a little bit of an asshole if this is how you teach people a lesson.
So,
and your
like,
sister,
asshole but valid.
Your sister's a bigger asshole than you are, because distracted driving makes you a giant prick.
Fair.
That's facts.
That's fair. That's straight facts.
It's just more complicated than that.
Thank you, Irazu.
I feel like there's very few
Waiting for
Am I
my
the
crown.
assholes where where one side is completely innocent. I don't read a lot of Am I the assholes where I'm like, nah, you were completely in the right.
I've seen some that are like, what the fuck was the other person thinking?
I've seen some, but most of them tend to be like, this person and I got into a fist fight and we beat the shit out of each other, but I'm in the right? And you're like, no, you, what?
Yeah. There's some fun ones out there. Well, we didn't get around to talking about our LA trip. Was there anything you wanted to mention before we leave our friends?
That's old news. We posted it all on Instagram.
Yeah, the stuff that we have.
LA was fun. John Williams.
Good time.
The Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, I didn't know it was like outside. It's crazy.
Yeah, y'all, here's the tip. If you're going to the Hollywood Bowl, show up like 2.5 hours early. Parking is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's insane.
We showed up late. And so we weren't able to, we didn't see this. Yeah.
We were there almost an hour early.
Oh, no, to the actual Hollywood Bowl though.
Right. But
Yeah.
we like showed up intending to be like an hour early, and we were sitting in traffic for 40 minutes trying to find a place to like park.
But my point is, just pay the $1 for the seat cushion. Just rent the seat cushion. You'll be more comfortable. You'll have more fun.
Yes, rent the
and
seat
bring a
cushion.
sweater because when the sun goes down, it gets cold really quickly in LA.
It does. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Blue says somebody needs to fucking watch Hook. Never seen it. Never will.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like Peter Pan. Just as like a genre.
A genre?
At this point,
It's
Peter
its
Pan
whole
is basically at this point, yeah.
No,
There's
we
enough
need to do-
content around Peter Pan that you could say it's a genre.
No, we need to do the magical legend of the leprechauns. I dropped some photos in
I
the
don't know
Discord.
what that is.
That's why it's fun.
Is that a movie though?
It was technically a mini series that is
We
like a
probably can't
movie
watch it then.
length. No, I think it might have been BBC.
Oh, yeah. Hi, guys. I don't even know what I can fucking do anymore. I'm doing my best.
We'll look into it.
I'm doing my. SAG. If I fuck up, if I fuck up during the strike, I'm so sorry. I'm doing my best.
I want a refund.
I'm doing my best. That's it. We're on strike, and I'm doing my best, and that's all I can do. And I love you, SAG. I'm a proud member for over a decade. I love the union. Since I joined, but I'm just doing my best.
Yeah.
I'll watch Hook for Blue, okay?
Oh,
I'll
no.
do it, but like not until the strike is over.
Violet Evergarden. That's one we should actually do because I think it's only 12 episodes or whatever, and it's
Sure.
beautiful, and we will sob and cry our eyes out.
Sure.
Our friend Holly is a huge fan of Violet Evergarden and has recommended it, so actually that might be one that we do for the sads.
So tired.
Okay, bye. Thanks for coming to the show.
No, so here's the deal, y'all. The next 2 weeks are gonna be a little tough because we're gonna start sleep training for the relay.
Yeah, because we have to start our shift at 5 a.m. every day during the relay.
And so we woke up at 7 a.m. today. We're gonna start waking up earlier, and so we usually wake up at 11 a.m. And so I'm very tired. But this was a great 2-hour book club. Nope, morning show. Yep, that show. And I think it's time to end it. We did both of our Am I the Assholes? We'll be back next Monday with another nightly morning show. This is probably going to come back most Mondays, except during the relay, because fuck that noise. We will literally actually, no. We will be live at 11 a.m. that day.
Yes,
we'll have been alive
every
for
day.
6 hours at that point.
Yeah.
Come back next week. Come back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we're doing a live stream here on the channel.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I might make the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood video go live today. So that there's...
So tomorrow, the live goes up.
Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to be sitting down with players of the relay to talk about their characters. Fanta is coming over to the house. We're going to do that one live. And then I'm going to be talking with Torque and Rob about their character.
Hell yeah.
If you want a preview of the Roleplay relay, and you want to get to know the characters before it starts, watch our Session Zeros. Watch as they roll for stats.
Grab some merch.
Come to the live stream tomorrow. The character merch for those 2 characters is going to go live. And then next Tuesday, the 25th, we're going to do another one of those live streams for the other 2 player characters. So you can get to know the characters before the roleplay relay begins. So that'll be a 2-hour stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we hope that you come join us for that. It's going to be fun. Today's been fun. I hope that you learned a lot. I hope that we brought you some joy. And thank you for all the super chats, because what the fuck is wrong with all of you? Are you okay? Someone needs to check on Blue.
Yeah, thank you guys.
We're gonna put a psychiatric hold on Blue.
This was a lot. This was a lot of fun. This was really nice. Honestly.
This was special.
It's been a
we're
crazy,
very grateful.
yeah. It's been a crazy couple days trying to figure shit out, and your support means the world. So thank you.
And things might change, so hang in there. And be patient with us, please. SAG is going to be updating as it goes, and the rules and regulations around this are going to change, and hopefully become more clear over time. And so things might be very different a week from now. We don't know. We don't know how the strike's going to go. It really depends on how much of a prick the studios decides to be, honestly. But if things change, we'll let you know. We'll keep updating you, and we'll keep making content as much as we can. Thank you so much for being here. This was the Nightly Morning Show. My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and as always, do something nerdy tonight.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, mods.